Become wealthy as much as you needed to. Have as many children as you want. Be happy with your spouse. Allah or His Messenger not stopping us. But the point I want you to learn, do not let the desires become your God. Become the objective of your life. Be careful for the sake of Allah. Allah the Almighty telling us in Surah Al-A'raf, ayah number 32, Qul, ask them, because most of the time we heard and we hear all the time Maulvis saying that just give up dunya, give up all your ambitions. No, have them, but without losing the goal. Now Allah the Almighty asking us through His Messenger, Qul in Surah Al-A'raf, ayah number 32, O Prophet, ask them, Man harrama zinat Allah? Who forbade all the zina, all the blessing, glitter, which Allah the Almighty has given you? Allati akhraja li'ibadih, which He specified for His servants. وَالطَّيِّبَاتِ مِنَ الرِّزْقِ, who forbade all the pure rizq. قُلْ هِيَ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Again tell them, these are for the believers. We could think maybe Allah the Almighty talking life hereafter. قُلْ هِيَ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا, in this worldly life. And خَالِصَةً يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ, it would be pure in the day of judgment, after this life hereafter. So keep in mind, have the ambitions. You want to become a physician? Fine. You want to become an engineer? Wonderful. Don't let it be your goal or the ultimate goal. Let me put it this way. Because to become a physician or doctor is a goal of a teenager, a child. But we need to grow up. Okay, you became a physician. You became an engineer. You became astronaut. You fulfilled that goal of a child. Now what? We need to move on. We need to see the ultimate goal. Subhanallah. An ultimate goal is Allah, pleasing Allah. When you are doing something, when you are serving your brothers, your sisters, benefiting them, it should be for His sake. When you are fasting, it should be for His sake. I remember I asked one of my close relatives, and she is very outspoken. She was fasting with, and the days were not Ramadan. I asked her why, and she said, to lose my weight, to control my weight. I said, Subhanallah, amazing. Good ambitions, good thinking, but you have lost the goal. And I asked her, just tell me, if you do it for the sake of Allah, do you think you're not going to lose your weight? Subhanallah. Exactly the same thing. You are earning, make it for the sake of Allah. You are talking, it should be for the sake of Allah. Even in our a'mal, because a'mal, all our actions are what? Result of our thinking. Subhanallah, our ideologies, whatever we think about. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. All the thinking, all the intentions, if they were good, your a'mal are good. I'll end with this. Junaid Baghdadi rahimahullah, one of the great scholars of his time and among awliya Allah. And I would request you to please pay attention on this amazing incident. He was walking around in Baghdad with his students, He said, we heard about a man called Bahlul, and he is a wise person. Do you know where he is? His student said, Sheikh, you are among ulama. That person is mad, crazy. He said, no, I want him today, where he is. So they start looking around and they found him. He went there, said the greetings. That person, Bahlul, he replied back. And he said, who are you? He said, I am Junaid al-Baghdadi. Oh, you are the one who teach people about deen and give wa'ad and dars. He said, yes. He said, do you know the manners of eating? Junaid rahimahullah, out of the same as ulama does, yes, you need to start by washing your hands, saying Bismillah while eating, make hamdallah, and when you finish eating, wash your hands. He stood up and he said, you are not even alim, you don't know the manners of eating, and he left. Now Junaid followed him. His student said, Sheikh, we told you he's a mad person. He said, no, I need to know what he said. He went behind him, again the same thing, said the greetings. He said, who are you? He said, I am Junaid from Baghdad, the one who don't know the manners of eating. He said, oh, okay. Do you know the manners of talking? Junaid rahimahullah started thinking again, and he said, yes, when you talk only the important things, to the point. Don't talk useless. Do not backbite. Do not slander. Do not lie. He said, you even don't know how to talk, the manners of talking, and left. He followed him third time. Same thing. Who are you? I am Junaid, who don't know the manners of eating or talking. Subhanallah, see their egos. These people, awliya Allah. If you want to become wali Allah, close to Allah, control your ego. Because at one time, either you can have Islam, which is submission to God, or your self-ego. Both cannot be combined in one person. And self-ego, I mean here, the negative one, the arrogance. I am someone, I am something, I am this, I am that. Now, third time, Bahlul rahimahullah asked him, do you know the manners of sleeping? He said, no, teach me. Subhanallah. And he started with, he said, eating, all what you mentioned, they are fine. But they are minor things. The actual thing was when you eat, it should be halal. The luqmah, bite, going into your mouth must be halal. If you are having haram and saying Bismillah, washing your hands, do you think it would affect? That's what is happening to us. Subhanallah. Bribery, and yes, washing our hands and saying Bismillah. And the effect is, we could see it. When you talk, subhanallah, for His sake, for the sake of Allah, coming from your heart. Dil se jo baat nikalti hai, asar rakhti hai. If it is coming from your heart, it would affect for the sake of Allah. Otherwise, he said, there are so many speakers. When you sleep, make sure nobody is upset with you. Subhanallah. All these, by the way, are teachings of Allah and His Messenger. When you sleep, be sure no one around is upset with you, and you are not upset with any. I took more than the required. I apologize. My humble, utmost humble request from you, my dear brothers, my dear sisters. have all the ambitions in this dunya. Let your children have it, but tell them first the objective of life, goal of the life. Otherwise, if God forbid, my son, my daughter, our children went out of the, subhanallah, track, deviated from the Islam, who would be responsible before Allah? If not I, if not us as parents, mothers, fathers. May Allah the Almighty guide us all. May Allah the Almighty allow our children to be on straight path. إن قلت حقا فمن الله سبحانه ومن توفيقه وإن أخطأت فمن نفسي ومن الشيطان. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.